let's keep moving. We run the right path, so no turning back. Let's keep moving. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Give me the duck now. One. Moving. Yes, we moving. Moving. Yes, we moving. Moving. Yes, we moving. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Public servant salary, that was on a hold. For them to get a dime, an asset must be sold. And even when they do, it always comes late. Why don't you admit all you couldn't operate? Investors' confidence, that was on a low. But who could blame them? All you didn't know head from toe. In almost 5 years, not one capital project. Construction was dead. Now you're talking about jobs like if you forget. Let the truth be told, one just can't know. Let's keep moving. Must admit we better off than before. Let's keep moving. We're on the right path, so no turning back. Let's keep moving. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Give me the dance now. Moving. Yes, we moving. Moving. Yes, we moving. Moving. Yes, we moving. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. I hear you talking, and it have me baffled. All over the place, how you care about people. But tell me this, please, where was that caring? When for 1+ years, you had them suffering. So much lost the job, others part-time work. So don't waste your time, cause they know it's only talk. You're talking about youth, explain this to me. Why you send them home, all them in money and take away their salary? Let the truth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start, so we want to ask you to please find yourselves a comfortable seat. Find yourselves a seat, because we're getting ready to start this meeting this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. No, I ain't here yet. Don't let me start with that call, because when I start with that call, the place does get loud. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Nah. Hold on. NNPites! All you know reach. Give us one more for the camera. NNPites! All right. You know, there's something about that when you say it, the people right next to you just get goose pimples. Yeah. You could only imagine if the people next to you getting goose pimples, what the people on the other side feeling. Anyhow, but we ain't going there yet. It's too early for that. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, we have made it our duty and our business and our way of life in the new National Party to never, ever leave Almighty God out of the leadings of every single thing we do. And in the new National Party, we don't just talk God, we believe God. And when I start on these tones, I just want to preach, so don't get me going. But tonight, well, this evening rather, to lead us in prayer, to ask the Lord's blessings upon this meeting and on the people of this meeting and the nation of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, I'd like to call on Miss Rosalind Boris, who will lead us in prayer. Please stand as we welcome the Lord's presence.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to my fellow NNPites. This afternoon, I want to thank God for giving me the strength to be here this afternoon. I want to thank Him for reference in me to guide us in the name of the Lord. Father, I come before you this afternoon with no strength of my own. My strength cometh from you, this Lord. Father God, and I ask you, Lord, to look upon my people this afternoon. Father, I ask you to guide and protect them, Lord Jesus. Oh God, keep us together as a bundle of sticks that cannot be broken. Father, what could I tell you this afternoon that you don't already know? You know everything concerning us, Lord. You know our going out and our coming in. Father, the ministers who are on their way, those who are here, Lord, I ask you to guide and protect them, Lord. Oh God, keep them in one accord, Lord. Unity we ask, Lord Jesus, this afternoon. Father, what could I tell you, Lord? Oh God and King, this afternoon. Father, keep us and ever keep us. Our NNP family this afternoon, Lord, guide and protect us. And keep us in your safekeeping. Father, you say the battle is not ours, but it's yours to fight this afternoon. And I know you will fight our battle for us this afternoon. In your precious name I pray. Amen.
See, this thing look like if you go turn into a crusade. But we don't mind a crusade because we understand the power and the presence of God and what it brings. And we're at a juncture in our country where we need to continue praying for our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to pay tribute to our country. And when we stand at these meetings, we don't just stand as members of the new National Party, as supporters of the new National Party. We stand as patriots to this beautiful land that we call home. And there's no greater respect than we can pay than standing and belching out the words of the national anthem. And tonight, we'd call on Ms. Jean Clark, who will lead us in paying tribute to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Put your hands together for her.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hail, Grenada, land of ours, we pledge ourselves to thee. Heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny. Ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage, may we well faith and courage aspire, build, advance as one people, one family. God bless our nation. We will continue singing by singing the party song. Oh, you can count on me, working for my party. Faithful I will be. I will fight with all my might. Oh, you can count on me, working for my party. Faithful
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may have your seats. But the thing about that music, when you see that music start to play, sometimes the thing it's like you're ready to break away, you know, so. Because you just get a vibe, it's a different kind of vibe, eh? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to officially welcome each and every one of you to this meeting of the St. George South constituency. We are still awaiting the arrival of our political leader who is on our way, but I'd like to acknowledge our candidates who are present with us this evening. We have Dr. Adrian Joseph. No, let me tell you something. No, let me start over. We have Dr. Adrian Joseph. Right. We have Mr. Troy Noel from the town of St. George. From St. Patrick East, put your hands together for Mr. Robert White. Ladies and gentlemen, I was getting nervous when I had to introduce her because it's my real good friend. And we go way back since before politics. So I go keep it simple. Put your hands together for the lady with the axe that will chop down the tree in St. David, Miss Nolene Thompson. And your candidate for St. George South, the man who go in and make sure that all the the man, put your hands together for Mr. Christopher Diale. All the other executive members of the new National Party, the stalwarts, the young ones, we want to welcome you officially and say thank you very much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening, a series of meetings that is continuing as we spread the word, the voice, and the message of the new National Party on a mission to rescue our country from the shackles of corruption, from the shackles of unemployment, from the shackles of everything wrong. This new National Party is on a mission, and you are part of that mission, and I want to say thank you very much. My name is Jason Skeet, and I will be your host for the rest of the evening. We had a delayed start, not by very long, so we're not going to waste any more time because we have some speakers tonight who are going to speak to us on a number of pressing issues, and we want to give them the time to deal with those pressing issues. Before we go any further, I also like to say a special good evening to our friends viewing online, our NNP friends viewing online, all Grenadians viewing online, and we have love in the house. So we will still say good evening to the other them on the other side who viewing online, because he like to say the other side. You understand? But we still love them because we are a party of love. The NNP is a party of love. Love in the house? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite to the podium this evening to speak to us a young man who started his journey as a lecturer at the St. George's University. I think that journey started back in 2008, 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. And since then, he has had the privilege of turning out a lot of powerful Grenadians with his teachings, with his background being accounting and mathematics. He had nothing to do with anybody who want to go to SGU, fail, and move from F to C. They were not in his class. They didn't get that teaching. So they continue to do nonsense. Please put your hands together and let us welcome the next Member of Parliament for the town of St. George that will bring it home for the new National Party, Mr. Troy Noel.
If you feel to cry, you could cry. Everybody have a tough time. Sometimes all it takes is one night with couple real friends by your side. Man, the energy have to ride. Shed some weight, watch you take flight. Everything will be alright. Go tell them I'm greater, I'm greater, I'm greater. Somebody tell them from a please. I'm greater, I'm greater, I'm greater.
Good afternoon, folks. NNPites. Now, every time I'm invited to speak, I normally get a little bit, I have some nerves now. Yeah? However, though, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Good afternoon to the proud people of the Great South. Some say it's the business capital of the country, isn't that so? I may have to agree, just a bit, because they're competing with town, so, just a bit. Warm, cordial greetings to you and your candidate. The town of St. George is a community. It's a community with what we call a rich history. A rich history that go way back. I remember when I was interested in cricket, I'm still interested, but it was a proud moment when Junior Murray joined the West Indies. Apart from that, we have a set of projects that was completed by the new National Party. We have the Carnage, which was something that was buzzing with activity under the new National Party. Now I don't know what happened to that community. We also are noted for our resilience. Resilience after Hurricane Ivan. Resilience after the many floods that would have ravished the area. We are also noted for our unity. That unity that was sparked after Ivan, most likely, and especially with sports. The town of St. George is full of talent, especially in football, basketball. Yeah? And now, sad to say, we yearn for good representative. Representative that is either distant or non-existent. The people have fundamental problems. One of those issues, I would say, is the attention being placed on the tongue of St. George River mitigation problem. This is passionate to me because I have been there. I have seen what happened. And I've also seen what was supposed to happen under the new National Party, where that flood mitigation project was something that we look forward to. It is a sad case that that project had to stop. That dilemma was not supposed to happen in the first case, if that project was completed. It is with sincere thanks, though, that I express to the government that try their best to start to clean up the area. I have to say thanks. But you would agree with me that enough is not done. While we acknowledge the progress made, the flood mitigation project is not merely about infrastructure. It's also about protecting lives and persons' livelihood. The last flood was a devastation. That should have not happened if that project was completed. Do you remember the amount of cars that was damaged? That should not have happened. Even the stadium was waterlogged for days. Yeah? That should not have happened. You would agree with me that much more needs to be done to ensure the safety and security of our people, especially in areas that have been vulnerable to the flood and the losses. I have a family that was part of that loss, and up to this day, he has not been able to get to that point where he was before. But thank God, a day is coming when the new National Party would be restored to the governance. And when that happens, the sky is the limit. Move forward, more emphasis needs to be placed on human lives. Individuals were used to clean up the river, and it was there to see on social media. These guys they didn't have no protective gear. They just went there and tried to pull things apart. This cannot be the way forward. Yeah? If someone needs to get something done, give them the right tools that allow them to do that task safely and effectively. At the same time, though, we have to say there are other issues that surrounds Tongue of St. George. One of those issues that was passionate to me, that is, and it will always be, is the development of our housing stock. We hear many talk about the government wanting to increase housing. All we hear, though, is just talk. There is talk about 500 houses per year. I haven't seen none in the Tongue of St. George. Maybe it's coming, but maybe time too late. Because by the time it does come, another party will be in power. We need to ensure that our housing stock is given the required attention that it needs. It is a growing need of the people of the people in order to support a sustainable urban growth and development. Additionally, we call on the government to perform some kind of miracle, I guess, because right now it seems that it's past being able to resolve, but resolve the ongoing tension between the CCCCI and the government, in particular with the River Road flood mitigation project. It is our hope as a party and as a community that this conflict will be resolved amicably and in a transparent manner. And you also agree with me that this government is not one that is transparent at giving you anything whatsoever. But hopefully, it will be transparent. We are also interested in youth unemployment. Now, a few months ago, I heard people were boasting about the unemployment rate being the lowest ever. Isn't that so? I'm sure you would have heard that, yeah? Maybe, though, we need to have a class as to how this unemployment rate is calculated. Because the calculation that is done leave out a very particular set of individuals. One that is so disgruntled or disappointed that they choose not to even attempt to find a job. There are numerous persons within the tongue of St. George's and Grenada, Carriacou, and Petermatic throughout who just decide they're not going to get a job, so they just decide they stop looking for it. The opportunities are not there. Under the new National Party, opportunities will be made available. That is a promise. Someone I admired, I thought he was able to explain exactly what that is. But it turned out that just as everything else, I believe he lacks the ability to be transparent and tell people how those things are calculated. I am absolutely sure that if that calculation includes those group of persons, that percentage will grow higher than it has ever been, ever in Grenada. Folks, this is not the time to rest. This is the time for us to get up and get. This is the time for us to ensure that we put those in authority to the test and let them realize that we're not about to settle for what they're giving. We can't. We have to. We must hold them accountable. I call on the people of the Great South to lend your full support to your parliamentary representative, and I'm sure he will be the next MP of the area, Brother Christopher Didiali. Lend your support in the upcoming elections to ensure that you don't have to go through what you're going through at this point in time. And I am sure that together we can build a safer, stronger, and a more prosperous future for all Grenadians, not for just a few, not for just a color, but for everyone in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petermatic. Folks, this is testing times. And we need to be tested and we need to come up victorious. I am ready. The candidates are ready. The question is, are you? Thank you very much.
The question is, are you ready? Nah, that ain't song as if all you're ready yet. Hold on. Are you ready? All right. I would like to acknowledge also the committee executive, members of the executive committee for the St. George South constituency. Thank you very much for the diligent work that you've been doing. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, I'd like us to stand for a minute, please. Because this new national party is a party that has been built on the blood, sweat, and tears of a lot of people who sacrificed their time, their effort, and everything else. And this evening, we'd like to just pause for a quick moment of silence, because it is only fitting that we acknowledge the contribution that a former chairman, a former member of the new national party, former chairman of the South St. George constituency would have made. And he went to the great beyond, but he devoted his life, his time, and his love for the development and continued success of the new National Party. I speak of no other person than Mr. Kenneth Smalley's Noel. So let's just bow our heads and pay tribute to him in a moment of silence. May his soul rest in peace, and may he rise in glory. Thank you. Please be seated. In addition to everything that we have going on, I just want to remind you, because I'm seeing some notices coming in, and it is important that I remind you, Dr. Julie Dubois, I just see you, Lord have mercy, you look so young, darling, I know. That young soap you're bathing with, it had to be a Chinese that making that soap. You bathing with a soap called Youngin. Tell us where to buy it. Give her a round of applause. We're talking about stalwarts. I had to come and talk to you because I had to work on this smile. You know how it is. The St. Andrew Southwest constituency will be holding a breakfast sale at the Grenville Car Park on the 25th of April, starting at 6:30 in the morning. So if you're in the area, pay them a visit. And if you have nothing doing and you're from town, you're from the south, drive up, talk to me, we go make a line. And we're going to go up at the Grenville Car Park and support the St. Andrew Southwest constituency. They didn't list anything, but from what I've seen on the flyer here, as a man who know food, I make out cocoa tea. I make out this look like Milo or coffee. This had to be Johnny Bakes with saltfish sauce. This looked like a green salad with sausage, and it looked like if it have a coconut tart and thing in it. So it's a good thing. So support them, all right? Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen. You know, for the next speaker, I've taken off my glasses because I know they like to take clips and spread it, so I want them to see my eyes. The next speaker that I'm about to introduce will do something in this country that very few, if any at all, before him, maybe one, would have done. When this gentleman was released into the political space as a member of the new National Party and as the candidate for the St. George Northwest constituency. Hold on, wait now, man. Oh, don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun, wait. You know, this young man is on the verge of creating history by being the only candidate that NNP and NDC people voting for. Because I hear people from the NDC saying, but I like them, you know, but here what's going on? I'm voting for Adrian, boy. So we're looking at a possible 100% bacchanal in St. George Northwest. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Stand to your feet and let us welcome brother Dr. Adrian Joseph.
They've been wanting this for a while. Deal with them in a style. When stars align, greatness outshines all here, in space and time. So still we rise with grace and with faith in the morning, with chains and oil. I am a backpack and I'm ready. Rum in the backpack and I'm ready. No more done laughing already with a backpack and the empty owner. They go out to the job and a payroll. Oil fresh like the old. To the job and a payroll.
Yeah. The drummers. Yeah. All right. You see this master of ceremonies? He calling NDC supporters' name as my support. He making me the target of NDC. But it doesn't matter, friends. Why? Why it doesn't matter? Jason, my brother. Why it does not matter? Why? Because we have love. Nah. I want you to stand on your feet. My NNP supporters, those who can. Let them know we have love in the house. We have love in the door. We have love in the window. We have love under the house. We have love in the house. Let them come. We have love. Hey. Yeah, man. 100%. Blessings. Friends, where's Kitaka? I've always asked for a cordless mic because I've always personally preferred to be with the people. I'm a student of protocol. I understand the hierarchy, but I love to be with my people. Always remember that, comrade. Mikey? Yeah. Most important, never forget the people. My fellow candidates, according to protocol, the executive members of the new National Party, my friends and comrades, blessings. I see my sister from the New York chapter, Kathy Albert. But most important to me is the people of the South St. George, the people of the new National Party, who are serving and giving so much for this party. Friends, I am here tonight, but I have to say something to you. I am not well. I have some bad news. I'm feeling a bit sick, Brother Diali. And honestly, it's not because of something I ate. It's because of something I saw and I heard. Friends, where is my friend Kieran graphics? Graphics, from here on out, we have to roll together. Friends, on a popular radio program recently, the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, all right, I love that. This is serious now. This is serious now. You have sons and daughters. I have sons and daughters. And our Prime Minister decided, in his wisdom, to take some snide remarks about people with PhDs. This man decided to take some remarks at education. It does not affect me personally. Where is Jason? Not at all. I've worked for mine, I can tell you. I've researched. But my friends, today I am sick for every Grenadian who is on that journey, who are making sacrifices. Kathy, you understand. They are putting in the work. Those of you with children would see them after midnight under that midnight oil. They are trying to become the best version of themselves. I know what it takes, trust me. I've done it. So, for the Prime Minister, friends, our Prime Minister, to take a swipe at education in this country, and in a time when we are suffering from brain drain, and you know how serious it is? Because this Prime Minister has run to Africa with his friends to collect whatever else, and in addition, to bring nurses to this country. So we have serious brain drain. For him to take a swipe at education at this time, instead of encouraging our young people to go as far as they can. My friends, it is not only disappointing, it is not only unfortunate, it is reprehensible. I have to ask, because I know what my mother told me. Everyone, including me, I want my children to educate themselves and go further than I have done in my life. And I say here tonight, whether you're NNP, DPM, or NDC, you should take note of what the Prime Minister has said. Folks, listen to me. Jason, you're hearing? In all honesty, if you ask me, and I'm a force of one, the Prime Minister should be ashamed of himself. Not for him personally, because he came to us and said that he's from humble beginnings. He got a degree and he got opportunity, and he's here today where he is. He should be ashamed of himself, not because of what he has done, but because of the office he represents. What about our children, brothers and sisters? This gentleman called a PhD, something that you have to work night and day for. What do you call it? A player hating degree. So let me tell you, I am a student of research. I grew up in protocol. I studied all the different degrees. I've done research. So I looked up player, and in the Urban Dictionary, it describes someone who is charming, charismatic, but ego-driven. Someone who is motivated by the boost that comes from many admirers. So I cannot speak for the Prime Minister's purse, but I certainly harbor no hatred for the gentleman. Because you know why? In the new national party, we are about what? We are about love in the house. We don't deal with hate. I want you to say it loud. Mikey, your camera is on? The camera is on. I want you to say it loud with me. It's about love in the house. Let them hear it loud and clear. It's love in the house. Folks, I really feel sorry for the Prime Minister. Yeah. The gentleman is probably feeling left out. Love in the house, let's settle down with love. Love. Dear Ali, you asked me to bring a rally speech. I love you, brother. So tonight, I have decided to bestow upon our Prime Minister an honorary doctorate. I'm not sure if he's jealous. So tonight we're going to give him an honorary doctorate. Dr. Dubois, I'm going to give him a doctorate in the field that he has truly mastered. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to award the Prime Minister an honorary doctorate in mismanagement. After tonight, he should refer to himself as the doctor with a PhD in mismanagement. If he wants to call it a player-hating degree, it's up to him in mismanagement. Yo, and guys, I'm not just giving him that, We are dealing with the research and the receipts which are clear before us. In the gentleman's own ministry, the Prime Minister's own Ministry of Infrastructure, which is responsible for every public construction project on the island, from approving materials, standards to signing off on every payment. Before, my friends, any contractor sees a single dollar, this Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, admitted to accepting substandard work. All right. So friends, when substandard work ends up on our roads, the Prime Minister is saying to us, his signature is already on it. Mismanagement. For the Catholics who are here, that should be a responsorial hymn. Yeah. And now, what we are seeing is a blame game on local contractors. But let us talk facts. I am dealing with the research and facts. The Molinier Road project, which by the way is in where? All the guys from St. George Northwest, put up your hands, man. We live it every single day. This project, we saw recently a release from CCC, I don't know how many C's, but we saw the release. Yeah. The project in Molinier, St. George Northwest, required 2 layers of asphalt with payment due from each layer. The second layer, if you notice, those going up to St. Mark's, was never applied. Why? The government never paid for it. It's not the contractor. The government, with the doctorate in mismanagement, never paid the contractor. And we know the contractor is not aligned to this party, right? So we know what's going on behind the scenes, huh? Folks, love in the house. Folks, the Cliff Road project is 90% complete. And I want you guys to listen. Out of $16.5 million, the contractor only received $4 million. That's crazy. That is insane. 25 cents on every dollar owed, while a Grenadian company is still on the ground, still working, still carrying the weight this government refuses to pick up. The True Blue Road project, which the Prime Minister expedited for his highfalutin friends to come. $1.5 million remains outstanding. And on top of that, The government owes an estimated $3.5 million for hot mix supply from 2025 alone. That is a research, my friend. That is a research. That is not pick-on. That is not taking a swipe at education. That is the facts. In addition, my friends, you have heard, I have heard, the cries, the fearful whispers of the small contractors. Have you heard them? They have not been paid. They are afraid to speak up, while the government is blaming an accounting system that cannot seem to get right since January 2026. I say again, it does not make sense. Just today, I received a message from a lady in Corinth, St. David's, no less. My sister Nolene will talk about that. This lady was asking for some assistance because she's at her wit's end. I want you guys to listen. You know, we want to make a rally speech. We want to say all kind of probably negative things, but these are facts. Just today, this lady is calling me for assistance. She said, I supported this government. I got a small month-to-month contract with this government. She said, Mr. Adrian, it's been over 6 months. I haven't gotten $1. Guys, you think about your own families. I have not met her yet, but I will make it my duty to meet her tomorrow. This is her words to me, Adrian, and I can attest right here. And I quote, I have no finances. I have nothing to eat. I cannot pay my bills. I can't afford to go to the doctor or buy things that I need. A simple bus ride from the tongue of St. George to St. David is a whole affair. Friends, think about that in your own situation. So, my good sir, my good Prime Minister, sir, while you swipe at persons trying to elevate themselves, do not stand before the Grenadian people and point fingers at local contractors. They are trying. It is you who withheld the monies. You broke the agreements and you failed to pay. Folks, friends, brothers and sisters, NNPites, NDCites, DPMites, it is the government. It is the government that is sinking us into poverty. The incompetence and hypocrisy are right there in black and white. And it is the ordinary Grenadian. It is us. It is you. It is me. It is the busman in the terminal that is feeling it. It is us driving through the dust. We are wrecking our suspensions, breathing in construction debris. Folks, look at your lives. How many of you in the last year has had to go to the doctor more than normal because you cannot understand what is happening with your respiratory system? They're not saying what is happening. There are increased cases of tuberculosis right now at the General Hospital that they cannot address. They are hiding these issues. Folks, it is you and I who are paying the real price, not the government. You know why? Because half of the time they are where? Where are they? In Dubai, in New York, on the plane, in the air, and they're everywhere. But I have to say to you tonight, we have a what they call it? A flight controller? An air traffic controller in the house. And I want my sister to take a stand. The air traffic controller has grounded the plane from St. David's. Sister Nolan, take a stand. Hey, take a stand. Sister Nolan has a backpack and she's ready. Folks, as we transition to the South, I also heard recently from the Member of Parliament for South St. George. So let's talk about that. If the leader cannot hold himself accountable for his own ministry, why should this honorable gentleman? He's doing as he wants. We're hearing about a vault in the MIT. We're hearing about contractors getting tips from government monies. He's doing as he wants. Friends, despite what he utters are angled photos and videos shared, there is not one meaningful, and I want you to stay on point, there is not one meaningful completed project he can point to. And his record is so thin that I recently heard he attempted to take credit for a Carriacou solar project, a project he did not build and did not fund. Let's go again to the facts that we found in real time. The project was announced in 2018. The UAE grant was secured in 2018 by the New National Party. The following years, the New National Party secured the land and obtained utility commitments. We issued the request for proposal and evaluated the bids. By February 2021, the final obstacle to connecting the project to the grid had been cleared. The project was built, planned, funded, and ready to go. NDC, unfortunately, took office in July 2022. And what did they do with the shovel-ready project? They needed nothing more for execution. The project just sat there for one whole year. No explanation, no action. And then, only after restarting what the NNP had already built, that MP went on social media and took credit. That is the caliber of individual you have representing. But the Prime Minister cannot see that. He can see persons who have earned their PhDs honestly as player hating, but he cannot see the person who is stealing the project from former administration. That is an ethics concern, my friend. That is deception. So, to you, the people of South St. George, I say to you tonight, you deserve a representative who sees the world through your eyes. One who is genuinely concerned about the future. One who is willing to make personal sacrifice and can actually point to accomplishments. In my view, I believe such a representative is sitting right here tonight. And if I have any credibility, I will ask you, the people of the great industrial South, to support such a representative, to think carefully about your own future and vote for someone who will make a real difference in the standard of living for the people of the South. Not persons who are about themselves first, second, and third. I want you to think about your own development, friends. So, brothers and sisters, I wish I didn't have to speak on infrastructure. I see my brother from Carriacou, the former guy from NNP. Brother Cox, come to the front of the class, man. Put your hands together. The people of the Great South, love. Love in the house, man, love. Friends, the world continues to evolve, with or without us. Only recently, the IMF issued a report and has warned us that darkening economic times are ahead. Our reality in Grenada cannot stop the wars between the superpowers. I want you, when you leave here tonight, to tell that, Ziggy, tell that to the interlocutor. The man who has another great PhD in our foreign policy, for which today we are paying a price. Friends, we know we cannot stop climate change. But guess what? We can control what we focus on at home. And what do we have at home? Tourism, infrastructure, youth unemployment, and skills training. And what about a proper and effective foreign policy? Friends, I want you to remember tonight, tourism is our #1 industry. Tourism is the main industry for the Great South, the industrial South. Our people, our natural beauty, our God-given assets, we can preserve, nurture, and develop at all costs. And our young people must be the driving force of that development. I want you to tell that to the Prime Minister. Just last weekend, we saw the gentleman, Mr. Steve Duncan, what he did with his Reggae Fest concert and the spin-off for our tourism and economic development was immense. Encourage our people, Mr. Prime Minister. Don't try and mock them or pull them down, sir. They are trying to do something for this great country of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pidi Martinique. Now we know not every young person will pursue a degree. Traditional schooling is not for everyone. That is fine. Vocational and skills training are just as important. Because guess what? Everyone deserves a chance to become the best versions of themselves. Mr. PM, I say again, sir, support them. Sir, while you are mocking educational achievement, youth unemployment in a national crisis, and this government has treated this high cost of living issue as a footnote. The Imani program needs to be rethought, sir, from the ground up, which you have destroyed. Artificial intelligence, it is reshaping how the world works. We cannot afford to be left behind, sir. But instead, friends, our goodly Prime Minister is out there mocking your sons and daughters who are just trying to elevate themselves like he himself did. Do you guys remember the Prime Minister came to us and said he's from humble beginnings? He got an opportunity. He took full use of it. This government, as we have seen, have done nothing for education. And now I understand why. Because why? The Prime Minister clearly does not see it as important. I want the Great South to say to the Prime Minister for me, we are watching, sir. The youth, the young people, your sons and daughters are watching his behavior. But guess what? In this house, on this side, we encourage them. pursue your dreams at all costs. Yeah? And if you need support, the new National Party will always be here to support your dreams and aspirations. So where are we on the world stage as I close? While this government was playing hide and seek with the United States over the radar issue, our citizens are now being the ones found out. My goodly sister Emmeline Pierce says, Adrian, you can speak on foreign policy, foreign affairs. Friends, today, Grenadians need to pay up to 15,000 US dollars just to travel to the United States. I don't know how you feel about it, but it is insane. We are talking about 15,000 US dollars, my friends. That is a door slammed for our vendors, our fishermen, our single mothers, and our family and friends. The Prime Minister and his friends might be able to afford it. But the ordinary Grenadians, I can tell you, it's pressure. And friends, this is a direct consequence of a government that does not understand foreign policy. I've spent 20 years in this field. They do not understand how bilateral relationships are maintained. Friends, in today's geopolitical climate, small island states cannot afford to be careless with their international standing. So, tonight, do me a favor. Let them know that the NNP understands the global context. Let them know that we understand that Grenada's strength abroad depends on consistent, principled, and proactive diplomacy. Friends, we have the experience. We have the relationship. We have the track record. Brothers and sisters, we have walked into those rooms with credibility and walked out with results. So today I say to you, Grenada deserves leadership that protects its citizens, opens doors for its people, and keeps the nation respected in the international community. And most importantly, Jason, I want you to tell the Prime Minister, yes, we have a doctor for that too. Yeah. So, as I close, South St. George, what do we say? We say enough is enough. Incompetence is not a laughing matter. When the people are suffering, the Prime Minister had to show empathy. Grenadians and Grenada deserves better. And the new National Party is ready. Friends, I want you tonight to remember the song, the words of our song. Just in 1 minute, I'm finishing 1 minute. I want everybody to stand. Stand up. Remember the words of our song. And I will fight. Yeah. Folks, I need you to carry that. That fire from the house. You can have your seat. I want you to bring it to every corner of the South because we have a lot of work to do in the South. I want you to register your friends. Register your aunts, your uncles. Canvass the list. And I want you to let them know there is love in this house. The door is wide open for a brighter future. So, South, let's get to work. Let's go with Brother Diali. Let's get to work for a brighter Grenada. Let's share the love in this house. Because why? We have an overflowing of love in this house. Let's build a better Grenada. Love in the house! Love in the house! Ah, my people.
Deal with them in a style. When stars align, greatness shines all the way achieving space and time. So still you rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, as quick as you can, put your hands together for Dr. Adrian Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, I grew up in church, and there's a scripture that says, he who when called to speak, speak short, shall be called again. Stand to your feet. Let us welcome our political leader, the next Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, Sister Evelyn Payne. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is a good time for me to remind you that the St. Andrew Northwest constituency, that is up by Teacher Lisa and them up there, we'll be having a barbecue luncheon on April 30th starting at 12 noon. Tickets $20. They have fish, they have chicken, the full works. Get your tickets from the executive members of the St. Andrew Northwest constituency. Or you can call 414-5121. 414-5121. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on our next speaker. Our next speaker, she don't have a PhD yet, but she's qualified in making sure that flights from Grenada are regulated and keeping people on the ground to do the work that we elect them to do. And they still ain't doing it. But she gonna come to talk to us tonight. I want you to put your hands together for the next Member of Parliament for St. David. The next Member of Parliament for St. David, Sister Nolene Thompson.
Thank you. The drummers just killed my song right there. Tonight we was launching my song, and I think I want you to play it. At least 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. They get a taste. They're gonna get the rest later. Our political leader, Honorable Emlyn Pear, and my colleague, caretakers, members of the executive, people of the South, and those of you who are online. First, let me say how extremely happy I am to be here with you tonight, standing with my colleague and my friend, Christopher Diali Jr. You know, since we both started this journey as caretakers and now candidates, Chris and I, we really hit it off. In fact, I say he's like my little brother. Now, I hear people often refer to him as bougie. I want to say a really quick story about this bougie, because sometimes Diali would come pick me up to go wherever we need to go, and he showed up the first time with a van. And I had to wonder if this person really came for me. I had to look to see who it was. Now, if you saw the van, you'd understand. And we named it Betsy. Now, Betsy, when you're inside Betsy, you're sweating for days. And to exit Betsy, you have to wind down the window, put your hand on the outside, and open the door from the outside. But the worst part of this is the seat that is broken, and you're consistently in a reclining position. And I joke with him all the time, and I say, I'm a married woman. I can't be seen driving wrong in a vehicle in a reclined position. So I have to force myself and sit up, right? So if that is bougie, I want the bougie Diali to buy a new car. I want a new car to drive in. Now, to get serious, Diali is one of the most grounded and thoughtful people you will meet. He carries himself well, he's disciplined, he takes things seriously. And behind all of this is someone who genuinely cares about people, someone who listens, someone who wants to serve. And the reason for this is simple. Chris understands sacrifice. Yes, he may have grown up a little bit more comfortable than some of us, but that didn't happen by accident. That happened because of the hard work and sacrifice of his parents. Parents who worked hard every single day to make sure their children had opportunities they themselves may not have had. And Chris understood from an early age the value of hard work and entrepreneurship. He had the ability to continue building in the private sector, deepening and expanding his businesses and focusing solely on his own success. But instead, he made a different decision. He chose service. He chose to dedicate his time, his energy, and his life to serving others, to serve you, the people of the South. And that is why I am proud to stand here tonight with Christopher Diali, because leadership is not about what you can gain for yourself. It is about what you are willing to give for others. So let's hear it for Chris. Friends, over the past months, I've been visiting communities and meeting people in St. David, and I've been hearing lots of stories, stories of struggle, stories of determination. And in one of those visits, I met a group of men, and one of them said to me, he says, Ms. Thompson, the stories you're talking about, you just make them up. And the truth is, every story I speak is the lived experience of someone in St. David's or in Grenada. It is not made up. During one of my recent visits, I met a young man and his mother, and their story stayed with me. The mother started from very humble beginnings, no big connections. She started a small business to help send her children to school. And little by little, she expanded that business over the years. And she has worked very hard, trying to make sure she had the opportunity for her children. And as much as I admired the mom, standing next to her was her 22-year-old son. Now this young man, and you know as mothers, when we got there, she went and she found all the items that he had. She wanted us to see it because she was just so proud of her son. And at 22 years old, he was already thinking like a businessman. He saw a need in the market. He found the opportunity. He saved every single dollar he had to get the equipment. Now, I want you to listen to this part, because this young man didn't have a vehicle. So he would walk, he would bomb rides, he would grab a bus just to sell his products and to fulfill his orders. Friends, that is determination, that is hunger, that is entrepreneurship. And when I asked him about importing the raw materials he needed for his business, he told me he pays every duty and every tax for the items he imports. Imagine that. A 22-year-old young man trying to build a business, paying every tax, doing everything the right way. Friends, what is our government doing to help entrepreneurs like this young man and his mother? Entrepreneurs are the backbone of our economy. They create jobs, they create opportunity. So when our entrepreneurs succeed, Grenada succeeds. Now, some may say that there are programs already. They will say there is GIDC, and yes, that is true. There are programs like GIDC meant to support business development, and they can play an important role. But for many young entrepreneurs, that support is still not enough. Because when a young person decides to start a business, one of the first things that you're asked for is a business plan. But many young people with ideas have never been taught to write one. So before their dream even starts, it gets stuck in paperwork. And that is something that we must fix. Because government support must not only exist on paper, it must exist in practice. A young entrepreneur should not need connections to succeed, only determination and opportunity. Grenada has no shortage of ideas. What we sometimes lack is a support structure to turn those ideas into successful businesses. And the new National Party has a record. We have supported entrepreneurs before, and we will do it again. We provided access to low-interest financing, small grants, and training to help people turn ideas into real businesses. And many young people were able to step into agriculture, agro-processing, and small businesses because of that support. We also made it possible for ordinary people, even those without collateral, to access funding through microfinance and other support systems. Because not everybody has connections, but everybody deserves a chance. That is the difference. We believe entrepreneurship must not work for a privileged few, but for every Grenadian willing to work. And that is why I feel confident in the team that the new National Party has assembled. Because many of us understand business. We understand sacrifice. We understand risk. And when you look at people like Brother Nolan Cox, people like Sister Amanda Japal George, Brother Alvin Dabrio, Brother Diali, and I'll include myself in the mix. We are people who understand what it means to build something, to take risks, to sacrifice, and that matters. Because leadership is not just about talking. Leadership is about understanding the real struggles of the people you serve. And friends, today the new National Party stands as a party in waiting, a team ready to serve, a team ready to lead, a team ready to put people first. Let's hear it for us, the new National Party. Friends, today I want to do something a little bit different. I want to speak directly to our brothers and sisters of the NDC party. Yes, I want to talk directly to you. not with disrespect, but with honesty. Because as a candidate for St. David's, I spend a lot of time walking through my communities and speaking with people. And I want to acknowledge something many of you have been telling me quietly. Many of you believed that this was your time. You worked hard, you campaigned harder, you defended your party, and you believed that when victory came, you too would have a voice. But today, many of you are saying something different. You are saying you are not being heard. You say you feel forgotten. You say you feel abandoned. And some of the senior supporters, the stalwarts, the people who carried the NDC party through difficult times, are now saying you feel pushed aside and neglected. You are seeing individuals who had no connection to the struggle before suddenly being placed in important positions while those who labored are bypassed. People speak about promises made, people being asked to call again, come again, wait again, people traveling to offices using their last dollar only to be turned away when they get there. Phone numbers that once worked no longer being answered, calls not returned, messages ignored. People who campaigned hard, not even receiving a simple acknowledgement. So tonight, my NDC brothers and sisters, I ask you a simple question. Is that what you voted for? And I know something else might happen tonight. Some of you may hear these words and feel the need to defend. Some of you may feel the need to come after me, and I understand that. But deep down in your heart, many of you know the truth, and many are living with that truth every single day. Many of you are hurting. Many of you are frustrated. Many of you are disappointed. Because many supporters were desperate for change, and that includes some of you, our NNP supporters as well. You believed you found someone who would save the day. And there is nothing wrong with liking someone. There is nothing wrong with admiring someone. But my brothers and sisters, popularity is not policy. Popularity does not show up in your wallet when it is time to pay your bills. Popularity does not show up in your purse when groceries need to be bought. And popularity does not create jobs for your children. So to the supporters of the current government, especially those of you who are hurting, those of you who feel disappointed, those of you who feel unheard, this is not about asking you to abandon your pride. This is not about asking you to forget about what you believed in, but it is about asking you to reflect honestly on your situation. Because if you feel unheard, if you feel pushed aside, if you feel that the promises made to you have not been honored, then I want you to know something tonight. You are not invisible, and you are not forgotten. As a candidate for St. David's, I am ready and prepared to work for every single person in the constituency. Not just those who support my party, not just those who wear my color, but every single person. Because leadership must not be about division. Leadership must always be about service to people. And that is exactly the kind of leadership the new National Party team is ready to provide. This is why the new National Party stands today as a government in waiting. A team that understands the struggles of the people. A team that understands what families are going through. A team that understands what entrepreneurs face when they try to build something in this country. Because many of us have lived those experiences ourselves. And more importantly, The new National Party has a record of building opportunities, a record of opening doors for young people, a record of creating an economy where people could work, grow, and provide for their families. And that is why I am confident when I say tonight, the team of the new National Party, we will be the difference. Not because we claim perfection, but because we understand the responsibility of leadership, and because we know that government must always put people first. Because Grenada does not belong to politicians. Grenada belongs to the people, and the people deserve leadership that listens. The people deserve leadership that listens. Leadership that does not take people for granted. Leadership that delivers. And when the time comes for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique to decide again, let that decision not be about popularity. Let it be about competence, compassion, and who will truly stand with the people. Let it be the team of Emmeline Pear and the new National Party. Because when our entrepreneurs succeed, when our young people succeed, when we put people before politics, and when we end bitterness and divisiveness in this country, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, we all succeed. Thank you, and may God bless you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
The only thing that was missing at the very end, I was sitting there waiting to hear Sister Nolene say, "Clock it." Let me tell you something. What you heard tonight, ladies and gentlemen, was passion, sincerity, honesty, and a commitment to serve. Put your hands together for Sister Nolene Thompson. We press in and we had to press fast, but while we're pressing fast, I want to remind everybody that the new addendum has been released. We could come to all the rallies. We could make all the noise. We must continue to canvass that list over and over and over. Somebody must know somebody all the time. And when we see discrepancies, we bring it directly to your party office, because we're going to deal with every single discrepancy one by one. Ladies and gentlemen, let us bring to the microphone a young lady who will introduce the next speaker. Let us bring to the microphone Miss Avenel Alexander.
Why you know about the job I ran? He's 100 million demand. They say we don't have no limit. Any faith we don't scratch it. They can't understand it. Why? Them can play our madamas and we brings people we mad. Nobody else blacker than we. When we play the job, brings people, yeah, we bad.
Hello everyone, a pleasant good evening to all our guest speakers, our political leader, Mrs. Emmeline Pear, and everyone who took time out to come out with us today. We thank you all. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing the candidate for St. George's South. With an academic background in business and financial planning, he is a professional businessman with experience in business development and financial services. He brings a fresh, clear, practical solution of leadership towards the South. Just to add to the list of all the good things he has accomplished, he is an OECS heavyweight boxing champion for Grenada, a testament of his discipline and determination beyond the ring. He is also a pioneer in the urban farming, leading innovative efforts in mushroom cultivation to support food security and economic diversification. He is driven by inclusiveness. Mr. Diali recognizes and acknowledges everyone from any class, from any genre. He is committed to bonding and developing a stronger, more inclusive future for South St. George and Grenada on a whole. He is a spokesperson for the people who are unheard or hardly get heard at all. A strong advocate for the urban development, small business growth, and expanding Grenada tourism and entertainment sectors, whilst focusing on creating real opportunities for young people and working families. He is a representation of a new generation of leadership, grounded in his experience, driven by purpose, and more than ready to serve. Mr. Christopher Diali, a courageous young man who is willing to take risks to deliver real results to improve everyday lives. So let us introduce our candidate for St. George's Soil, Mr. Christopher Diali.
New thing arise now. NNP. Yeah. Yo, 3 years them hold the power. Watch them waste every hour. Light bill gone up, water bill skyrocket. While them full up them pocket. Road them mash up, hospital broken, empty promise. All them ever spoken. Young youth suffering, no work, no day. NNP a come fi change the way. Better for everybody, better for you and me. Now go back to suffering. NNP are the key. Better for everybody, from Kariako to the city. Them days done, a better time. Watch it coming for we.
Good evening, good evening. That is just a snippet of what's ahead. My people of the South, my NNP family, for those Grenadians abroad and at home tonight, good night and welcome. Now, after listening to my colleagues tonight, I would just like to say right now, I'm extremely proud to be a part of an organization where I'm next to you guys. I know, Nolene, you have a special place in my heart, so you know, we good. Now, this is a team that is ready from day one. And I am truly proud to say that I am a member of the new National Party. But my people of the South, I have to get a little serious tonight. This is just not another meeting for me. This is my meeting, and tonight I am going to be honest. I want to talk tonight about the future of our great constituency. But before that, I just want to get a little thing off my chest and get it out there one time right now. People been saying on the streets, telling people in the South that Diali unapproachable. They say I cannot relate to people. They say I'm bougie. Let me be clear. That is not who I am. That is not my story. My name is Christopher Diali II, a son of this soil, a young Grenadian raised right here in the South. Now, in the early years of my life, I grew up between the Bocas in St. Paul's, the Pointe Street in town, but later, with my family, moved to Fort Drudy. I walked these roads. I jogged through Calavini at least 3 days a week. People who in Calavini would see me on the road trying to break down this belly. I went to GBSS, and I went to Westmoreland. But I live by the ethos, non palma sine labore. If you know, you know. I live the South. I've been on those same beaches all across the South, celebrating with my friends, laughing, and well, yes, going through a little tabanca from time to time. Thank you. And to my brother who picked me off of those beach, enough love to you, Rashid. I will never forget that. So when they say I cannot relate, who knows the South better than someone who lived it? I am the product of two hardworking Grenadian people. My father's family is from St. Mark's. My mother's family is from St. Patrick's. And like many of you, they came to the South for opportunity. That is your story, and it also is my story. In my household, at my breakfast table and my dinner table with my family, to connect to my parents who are both very business and otherwise very professional people, I had to connect to them as a child, being able to talk the language they were speaking. So at a very young age, I listened to all the Senate speeches my dad made, all the different things that was going on in finance and business so I could talk to my mom about it. So when we sat at the dinner table, we debated ideas, philosophies, things that was happening in our country, and things to make our country even better. But when my father stepped away from public life and retired, he told me something that I'll never forget. I was kind of giving him a little talks on some stuff, and he kind of just laughed and quipped and said, "It is your generation time now, you know. It is time for you to step up." And tonight, in front of everyone here, I'm telling you, I am ready to step up. But when I look at the South today, I really am not seeing any vision at all. Yes, I see painted curbs. Yes, we see the flowers. But cosmetics is not development. Pretty does not mean progress. The South must not be a place we just pass through. The South must become a place we build. I strive to build a future where the South becomes the new city of Grenada. Sorry Troy not here, but I apologize for my people of Tongue. Tongue is a close spot, but I believe in the future that is the South. And ladies and gentlemen, that future starts with connection. I know connection, we're talking about connection. Well, I've been thinking about this problem, and I've been going around the communities all around the South for the past few months and beyond. And I want you to stay with me for a second. I want to endeavor to introduce something never before in the South. I want to bring in a 24-hour transportation system, a pilot program, done in concert with the private sector. Electric buses running from Morris Bishop Highway across the east, the west, up to the north, and back down south. 24 hours a day. Safe, reliable, and always available. No one should have to finish work and have to panic how they get home. That should not happen in this day and age in Grenada. No, I'm not trying to just say we start a bus system, you know. I'm young. I want this to be tracked on your phone. I want an app that supports the system so that every person who is looking for that bus at a time of night can know when that bus is coming on their route. They don't have to stay in the darkness. They don't have to be alone on the side of the road. Let technology work for us. I don't want to replace the system. I want to strengthen it. I want us to build upon the legacy, and I want to build upon what we have so that it works for all of us. I want so that people can move all across the country freely so that opportunity expands for all of us. But movement and connection alone is not enough. We must also create a destination for our people. And that is why I am proposing in the South, we have the first entertainment district right here in the South. A space designed for people, a space designed for life. Imagine, stay with me, a place where families can come out safely, where you can walk freely. Parks, green spaces, areas for children, an amphitheater, live music, plays, cultural shows, local restaurants, cocktail spots, small businesses owned by Grenadians. A place where our culture can become our economy. Where nightlife is not chaotic, but organized, safe, and obviously profitable. Where young people can create, and not just create music, but create a vibe to let loose of all the stresses we hold today, the anxieties we all as young people know that we are plagued with. A place that we could come together and have socialization, not just on the phone, but in person. This is a vision I have for my community. No, I just don't want to just build these little things. I want to create an economic hub of this country. And this is how we build it. We create a destination for all Grenadians. Not just for visitors, but for us, the people of the South. No one should have to buy a car or should have to move from the beautiful countryside just to survive and work in the South. In this day and age, we should have the type of forethinking and planning that makes sure all Grenadians are served well. I want to push for affordable homes for young people, land ownership pathways, opportunities for young people and for all people of the South. We must plan properly. We must protect our land, and we must support all our entrepreneurs. But right now, too many are struggling. And while people are searching for opportunity, we are watching opportunity disappear from right in front of us. Land is being sold right now without our consultation. Now, this point it strikes a chord with me. I really want to stay on this. There's a land being sold right now. A lot of people across the South don't know this, but that is the Sandino complex that we know now, where the Housing Authority of Grenada is right now. That area is being sold by this government to a private sector interest. An area of the South that could have been redeveloped and rethought and repurposed to become a new hub, maybe for our financial district, a hub for CBI, IMA, inland revenue, VAT services, a parking garage to support businesses and relieve community congestion on the roads in Montu. But just like that, poof, it's gone. No consultation with the people, nothing like that. Land just gone. Decisions made in quiet corners in our country without the communication with the people, without a plan for our future. That is not leadership. So my fellow Grenadians, I'm asking you, I'm imploring you, we must do better. And when I look at our youth today, I see so much potential, but I also see neglect. We're just right there, across the road, the youth center. I see it, and it hurts my heart because I want to see so much for our youth, and I don't see that we have the necessary tools to help them. I want a youth center fit for purpose, a safe space for at-risk youth when home is not an option, a place of retreat, but also a place of rebuilding, a place where young men who probably made some mistakes and have a petty criminal record, who can reskill, retrain, and redeploy into our economy. Yes, welding is good. It's a good profession. But why not go further? Why not bring international talent through the Foreign Office, like Japanese knife makers, to train our people to produce for our hospitality sector? Why not think bigger? Coding is important. We know technology is important. But why not also build an e-gaming center for youth to create teams? Obviously for less athletic children like myself, so they can connect with other people, compete, and earn a living on global platforms like YouTube and Twitch. Now this is what we call a modern approach to opportunity. We must include people in our plans, because people is at the center of our politics. We must build a country that works for all Grenadians, not just for a small few. So when they ask you who I am, tell them this. He's one of us. He understands us, and he is ready to build for us. The South is not a shortcut. The South is the future. Let me say that again. The South is not a shortcut. It is the future. The time for small thinking is over. It's done. The time for real leadership is now. Let's build the South. Let's build Grenada. Let's build an economy that works for all of us. Together, as one people, one Grenadian people, let us rebuild this country again. Thank you, and have a good night. May God bless you all.
NNP, yeah, yo, 3 years them hold the power. Watch them waste every hour.
Saigon people,
Gone up, water bill skyrocket.
Fenton Village people,
Them pocket, road them mash up.
Coffee Bow Hill people,
Broken, empty promise.
Stones people,
Spoken, young youth suffer.
Saigon people,
NNP a come to change the way. Better for everybody. Better for you and me.
all South people,
Now go back to suffering.
Housing Scheme people, Limes people, Jangle people, Gulf Coast people, Springs people, all people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to enter into something very special in this country. And thanks to Brother Diali, because again, what the South really needs is an honest, forward-thinking, committed, dedicated, brilliant young man. And we have that in Christopher Diali Jr. Brother Nolan Cox, I want to acknowledge you because I know you've played a very important role in making sure that this young man is as solid as he is. And by the way, while Brother Nolan Cox is not speaking tonight, I heard from Carriacou and Petit Martinique that the Carriacou seat should be declared around 9:30 election morning. We're about to enter into a different space, history in the making. Grenada will join countries like Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Dominica, Jamaica, for the most part, Anguilla, I think, as well. And come election morning, whatever day that is, whenever the Prime Minister chooses, we will create part of that history in being there from 6 o'clock in the morning, ready with purpose, ready with conviction, to relieve him of his duties and enter into a space where we will usher in the first female Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Stand to your feet, put your hands together, and let us bring to this microphone the Honorable Emmeline Pear. Ladies and gentlemen.
Old people, they say, back to
drummers their time, right? Brothers and sisters, Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Martinique. NNPites. Grenada, Carriacou, P.T. Martinique. I greet you tonight with love. I greet you tonight with love. Brothers and sisters, tonight I want to begin by recognizing the deputy political leader of the New National Party, Brother Nolan Cox, who is with us tonight. Carriacou in the house. Brothers and sisters, let me also recognize all of the members of the team who are here with us. We have Brother Adrian Joseph. We have Sister Nolene Thompson. And we have the man of the South. We have Brother Christopher Diali Jr. Brothers and sisters, tonight, I want to share with you my own personal thoughts about Brother Diali. I must say I've known his father for many, many, many years, but I did not have the privilege to know him as a child. But I met Brother Diali after the last election, in and between, because he was very close to Brother Cox's campaign in the last election. But I believe it was after the election I had an opportunity to interact with him in a very direct and personal way. And he would say to you, and I remember the day very clearly when I called him, I observed him in a meeting. And I called him aside after the meeting, and he would tell you, I said, there is something about you. I don't know if you remember that. There is just something about you that you are destined for greatness. There is something about you that is humble. So when people talk about him in that way, I've not experienced that. I've not seen that. What I see is a young, humble man. And if you don't go out of the way to know him and know probably the things that people would say of how he grew up and where he grew up, if you don't know, you will not know. You will never figure it out looking at him or observing him. And so tonight I'm confident, very confident, that Christopher Diali Jr. is the best choice for St. George South in the next general elections. And I'm also confident that if you want real development in the South, Diali is the man. Vision, commitment, and I believe what we need at this time is a young man like Diali to make a difference. But I'm going to close on this with what I consider to be the most important characteristic that I've observed about this young man. He has a heart for people, especially marginalized people. And if you have that in politics, you have everything. If you have love for people in politics, you have everything. So I know he's going to make a great parliamentary representative. And I rest assured that he's going to bring home that seat to the New National Party. Brothers and sisters, tonight, I want to be very brief
as I focus primarily on one issue at this meeting. But I want to preamble this by saying to you, corruption, I believe, has never been in the history of this country what it is today. And there are leaders in this country, brothers and sisters, who are busy forming companies, associating themselves with companies for their own personal gains. Brothers and sisters, we see how government resources are being used for personal benefit in this country. And I say to you tonight, this must end. And that is why the team of the new National Party, this team is ready, as I said in the last meeting, to serve you before we even think of ourselves. Brothers and sisters, while people are busy, leaders at different levels are busy setting up businesses, strategically so. While people are getting involved, brothers and sisters, in activities to benefit just themselves, there are issues affecting people that seems to be unimportant to this government. Sister Nolan said it. When we come here and we share a story, it is a story of someone who is hurting and need a voice to represent them. Just before I walked in, about 5 minutes before I walked in, someone was trying to hunt me down. I want to read the message. Because you see, the stories that we share, many others are living those same stories. I'm going to remove certain things so it won't be too obvious who the message came from and who delivered it. But it's a forwarded message from the individual. And it said, I don't know if you're done in the meeting. This person sounds desperate. I don't know if you're done in the meeting. I'm watching, but I don't see you. Please ask the political leader to talk about it, please. Today make 41 days without pay. Over 4 fortnights, no pay. Please, kindly I'm asking to send this message to reach the opposition leader before she speaks tonight. You know, what is... Let me go ahead. The message continues. Tomorrow, please God, is graduation meeting in SAS. So at least you know this is somebody from St. Andrew. For my daughter. And you know the kind of money they will ask us to pay. All these days, no pay. How will I pay my daughter bills in the school? I crying, I begging, please pass this message to the political leader. So you see, brothers and sisters, when we stand here, how could you not share this story? Because a single mother somewhere is depending on a speaker here to be their voice. There are people in this room, brothers and sisters. This is their story. There are people viewing online. This is their story. And you know, for some people, their story is 100 times worse than this story. Because you see, there are businessmen who are wondering tonight whether it makes sense to open tomorrow. There are contractors who are owed millions of dollars by the government, and they are wondering how they are paying workers. How are they paying workers at the end of the month so that these workers can put food on the table for their children? Brothers and sisters, we are humbled to be the voice for the voiceless. Brothers and sisters, while the Prime Minister goes off on a working trip, while the issues, brothers and sisters, that are unaddressed in this country, I say to you, there are people who find it difficult to sleep tonight because of the issues that are not being addressed. I spoke about this single mother struggling. But tonight, I want to spend the next few minutes speaking about a group of persons in this country who are expecting the government to act on their behalf. I want to read to you a message from a public officer, but I'm going to represent the concerns of these public officers who message me from time to time expressing serious concerns about the things that affect them most. Brothers and sisters, tonight, I want to remind us, the NDC administration, I believe, made every possible promise they could have made to land themselves into government. And you would remember that one of those promises was that every temporary worker will be made permanent. That every contract worker would be made permanent. Every Imani trainee would be made permanent. And you know, they did not just make the promise. Brothers and sisters, they went on to promise the speed at which this was going to be done. So they said to you, in the stroke of a pen, you know what is a stroke of a pen? That's how fast they were going to make everybody permanent. Just vote for us. Tonight I feel proud to be part of an organization that has never promised its way into government. Never. Because we promise to you what we believe we can deliver to you after careful assessment. But I believe the NDC went into office saying, whatever would make them vote for us, let's just promise them whether it could work or not. And that is why we are in the situation that we are in tonight. So the number of nurses, the number of public officers who call me from time to time, dissatisfied, disappointed, and still cannot believe what that promise has turned into. Let's start with the Imani trainees. Brothers and sisters, far more than half of the Imani trainees were sent home. They voted for permanent. They voted for permanent. Brothers and sisters, how can you trust a government that knew that this promise was impossible, but went ahead and promised nonetheless just for a vote? How can you trust a government like that? And now they want to promise you brand new state-of-the-art hospital in 3 years. When more than 3 years, brothers and sisters, there are some clinics around the country that started repairs and cannot finish. Fool me once, fool me twice. Brothers and sisters, so sad. But I say to you tonight, these Imani trainees would have learned from this experience. But you see, there are public officers who are still there. Thankfully so. They did not suffer the fate of the Imani trainees who were sent home. And you know, there's a pattern, there's a boldness with the way this government operates. That on top of a promise that they know they could not deliver, they knew they could not deliver, this is what they turn around and try to do to public officers on top of this. Brothers and sisters, we know that when you speak about regularization, when you speak about permanent within the public service, there's only one authority, and that is the Public Service Commission. Everyone in Grenada knows that it is within the constitution of this country. But in an attempt to trick workers again, the NDC has been dishing out with the stroke of a pen letters which say to workers that you are now permanent. How deceitful. When those letters have been signed by the Cabinet Secretary and the Public Service Commission is nowhere involved. How deceitful can this administration be? But it goes beyond the attempt to mislead and to trick persons into thinking now that you can tick a box. We've made everybody permanent. Brothers and sisters, I believe one of the greatest pain for some of our public officers who trusted this administration, this party, is to be told now that the 1958 Act and pension that we promise you is no longer available to you. And I believe when the Prime Minister said "Susu" during the campaign, he was well aware what he was talking about. Because they promised public officers that we are going to make you permanent. We're going to pay you pension when you retire. And every single officer by that promise was convinced that they were speaking about the 1958 pension. Today, many of these officers now have to pay 3% of their salary into a saving plan. And they will never, under this administration, benefit from the 1958 pension. Why? Brothers and sisters, many of these officers worked hard. They sacrificed as public officers. And they were feeling a sense of relief to hear, one, the court's ruling, and two, the NDC say, we are going to honor the court ruling. Unfortunately today, many of these workers are paying into a plan, and this is what hurts about this. No minimum guarantee of what they would get when they retire. No minimum guarantee. And I'll tell you what was the guarantee under the new National Party administration. 70% of your last salary was going to be your pension take home. As a matter of fact, 2,200 people, pensioners, were already benefiting from this. Brothers and sisters, we are not a team that attempts to trick people, and sometimes our transparency, our honesty, sometimes we pay for it. But we are not going to change this. So when we said in 2022, we were not going to appeal the court's ruling, that we were already paying pension, 2,200 people, 70% of their last salary was the last agreement with the union. Brothers and sisters, we said to the workers of this country, we are working out a formula for the payment of the outstanding payments due, and we are committed. We were paying 70%. You know what the Constitution says? 66%. So we were paying more than what was actually required as it relates to pension. But tonight, I say to you, and I say to the public officers, especially those who are disadvantaged by the decisions of this administration. The new National Party, we are ready. We are committed to review this plan because we believe that you must never be disadvantaged as it relates to the court's ruling and as it relates to the Constitution. And so for us as a team, we have already started the necessary engagements, looking at what it is that we need to look at, because we believe that it is wrong the way that this has been administered. And tonight I want to give that assurance to every public officer who falls under the 1958 Pension Act. If you have been disadvantaged, the new National Party will be back to ensure that we do what is right according to the Constitution of Grenada. We respect the ruling of the court, and we would implement accordingly. So tonight, brothers and sisters, I close by saying to you, while many are busy satisfying themselves, we are working very hard to ensure that we develop the policies, the programs to bring relief to the people of this country. So whether it's cost of living, we are working on the policies that we are going to present to the public during this upcoming campaign. Healthcare, we have said it to you. We have no problem with a brand new hospital, but we have a big problem with the concept of Project Polaris. And that is why our vision will stand as it relates to healthcare. Every parish in this country must have a polyclinic of standard. every parish in this country must have a polyclinic of standard. And I remind you, during the COVID pandemic, that vision was being rolled out. The Guelph Polyclinic is a demonstration of that vision that started under the NNP. Because diagnostic services must be available. Quality services must be available. No need to leave Grenville to come to have a delivery of a baby in St. George's. That is the vision of the NNP. Every parish must have an ambulance service. And brothers and sisters, the NNP will continue the vision that it started. So tonight, you must be ready. You must be ready for the new National Party's return to office. Are you registered? Is question number one. Are your children registered? Is everyone in your household registered? Are you canvassing the voters list? And are you ensuring that everyone you meet understands the message of the new National Party? Tonight I ask the team that is here to stand, because this is our commitment to you, and we are going to repeat that commitment every night that we meet with you. Our commitment is Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique first. We believe in a united Grenada for all Grenadians, regardless of your religious, your political affiliation. Grenada for Grenadians. I invite them to join me, those who are here tonight, because we are pledging to you that we are going to do this differently. People first. And if you are ready to join us, I invite you to join with us standing tonight. This is our pledge to you, Grenada. This is our commitment to you, Grenada, that Grenada shall always be first under the new National Party's leadership. Good night, everybody. God bless you, and God bless our beautiful country.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good, yes. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. You know I love your voice, for you have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are close like no other. You know I've known you as a father. You know I've known you as a friend. And I have believed in the goodness of God. Oh, yeah. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good and so good. Every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness
No need to sit, just stay standing with me for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you very much for attending this meeting tonight. We want to say thank you very much and have a safe journey at home. Don't forget to visit all our social media pages. Like, comment, share, continue to spread the message, continue to spread the word of the new National Party, continue to follow, continue to like, continue to pay attention to the voters list, canvass the voters list, talk to your party chairs, talk to your representatives, talk to the political leader. Let us continue to do the work of the new National Party. Have yourselves a safe journey home. Go with God's speed. We love you. Good night and be safe, everyone.